and a half. In a game that you never trailed, what set the tone?
Our energy and our defensive intensity. The game plan that we had, we stuck to it. You know, we had some laws in that third quarter that, as a group, we know we don't like, but the energy was there from the start.
20 of your first 23 points came in the paint. Is that what allowed you to find your offense?
Just trying to be aggressive. You know, on the road, you got to be aggressive. You can't settle from the outside, especially to start off a series. So, wanted to be aggressive. I got so many shooters out there that allows me to get driving lanes. I just try to put the pressure on the defense.
You've called game one your feel-out game. How do you feel now heading into Friday?
Yeah, it was definitely a fill-out game. You know, we kind of know what they want to get to. They kind of know what we want to get to. But you know, after 10 days off, I didn't feel that great. But I know I feel a lot better going into game two. You know, so I'm looking forward to the challenge.
Congrats, LeBron.
All right, thanks, Kristen.
Guys.
LeBron, by my count, they put about 8 different defenders on you. They rolled a bunch of different guys, whether it's switches or matchups or whatever. When you're having success on no matter who they're putting on you, you think that does anything for you momentum-wise, or does it defeat them at all when they're trying so many different options on you and none of them are working?
I don't think it's no momentum. You know, I pretty much know, you know, how many guys I'm going to see throughout the course of a game. I know the guy that's going to start on me. I know the guy that's going to shift off onto me if a sub happens, or, you know, if they go small or if they go big. So, you know, for me, you know, the only thing on my mind is how we can execute the best way we can to get a bucket in this possession. Either if I can get myself shot, if I can drive, get my shooters a shot, or if I can get something for double T in the paint, or if we get to the free throw line. So, you know, it's not even it's not an individual matchup for me. No matter who's in front of me, I'm just trying to. You know, my mind is always racing on, you know, how I can make us the best possession, you know, at that particular time.
Bob Sean, the Citizen, for both of you guys. LeBron, I know you study the game the way you do. Are you setting up Kevin to get the best out of him from perhaps back to his Minnesota days? And Kevin, is this as good as you felt? I mean, in terms of your comfort zone, year 3 with the team.
Well, for me, I saw it in Kev this morning. I knew what type of game he was going to have, you know, and so I mean, he came through for us. And I think, you know, we want the mentality of Kevin from Minnesota, but he doesn't have to. His usage rate doesn't have to be as high as Minnesota. You know, obviously we all know that he was a featured guy pretty much every possession going down the floor. You know, and here that's changed a little bit because we have other guys, but his mentality needs to stay the same as Minnesota. And I think, you know, as he continues to get even more comfortable, you know, and tonight was one of those instances where, you know, every time he got the ball, it was a small guard or somebody was in the post, he was aggressive. You know, he grabbed every rebound for the most part with him and Tristan in the paint, and he was very aggressive with his shot. And he also got to the free throw line 10 times, well, 9. But so it definitely, you know, that mentality from Minnesota is what we all love.
Days off, kind of keep the discipline that you had day in, day out with practice, and Kevin too, with, you know, obviously all the time you guys have had off, and making sure the momentum was still there.
Well, we put in a lot of work. And you know, Coach gave us a couple of days off after we closed the series in Toronto, but after that, we've been on the practice court or we've been in the weight room training as if we were playing. And there's no way you can substitute a game. We all know that. But, you know, the work that we put in this week, we just tried to, you know, be as up to speed as possible when the game did come. And, you know, tonight was just another opportunity for us to, you know, implement our scheme. Our coaching staff gave us a great game plan, and it was up to us to go out and execute it.
Ken Berger with The Athletic. LeBron, you've had a lot of playoff moments here in this building, some great moments for you, some disappointments as well. There seemed to be a relentlessness or a ruthlessness in your game and in your approach tonight. Is that for you? Is that for your teammates, or is that for the opponent?
Well, I think it's the mindset that you have to have when you go on the road for game one. You can't start the game off, you know, lax or shooting a bunch of jump shots. You know, and that's my mindset. We got guys that can shoot the heck out of the ball, and obviously Kev showed that tonight. You know, but for myself, you know, I have to be in attack mode and just put the pressure on the defense and see what happens. And I was able to do that and kind of just set the tone early, you know, on what we needed to do. And once I started to see the defense start to crack in, then I started to find my shooters. And I don't even think we played, you know, that great tonight. I mean, we definitely didn't shoot the ball, you know, as well as we capable of shooting. I know Kyle had 3 or 4 very, very good looks that he missed, you know, when we had a good stretch. But, you know, I think the energy and the effort and the mindset was where it needed to be starting on the road, especially in the Eastern Conference Finals.
LeBron, you said this morning no matter what coverage was shown or you or adjustment was going to be made, you would be ready, your guys would be ready. What did that look like in the locker room before you guys took the floor?
Our coach staff gave us a great game plan, Allie, and we knew they were going to make adjustments, and it started with inserting Gerald Green into the starting lineup, so they wanted to get a little bit more, you know, punch in their offensive activity, and it happened early. Gerald Green hit 2 threes, but we just had to figure it out. You know, we're a team that's good on the fly, and we figured it out. We started to push the tempo offensively, get stops defensively, and we was able to turn this ball game full around.
With the way you guys are playing right now, is there a challenge or is complacency even an issue?
Nah, there's no such thing as complacency in the playoffs because you can lose a game and you can lose a series. Can't let the momentum change. So, listen, we came here and won 2 games in a row. But it means nothing if we go home and think that just because we beat them on their floor, it's going to be automatic at home. So we got to be even more in tune than our home fans. I know they've been waiting on us. They haven't seen us since game 2 of the last series. So we look forward to getting back.
Tonight was your 8th straight game of 30 points or more. This mission that you personally are on, LeBron, why hasn't anyone been able to slow you down?
I'm just mentally focused, mentally challenging myself to try to be as perfect as I can be. And I know I'm not perfect, but I try to be as perfect as I can be every single night when I come out on this floor, put myself, put the teammates in position we'll be successful. And we're doing that so far, and hopefully I can continue that.
Because you love a good challenge, you talked about getting back home. It's been 17 days since you've seen that home crowd. What's the challenge you present to your guys to get it even better?
We got to get our rest. I mean, it's basically like a back-to-back because we got to fly tonight, and then we play on Sunday. So, you know, the treatment starts now and tomorrow. But mentally, when we come in tomorrow, we got to look at the film. There's still some things we could have did better, even though we played a great game. And we can't be, like I said, there's no such thing as complacency right now in the postseason. So we look forward to the challenge.
Jason Lloyd, The Athletic. LeBron, the MVP voting came out a couple minutes before the tip tonight, and wondering if you saw those results, that you were not in the top 3, and if that fed into the game at all, and whether or not you even saw your reaction not being in the top 3.
No, I didn't see it. And what you gonna do about it at the end of the day? I mean, my only job is to try to be the MVP for this team every night. Put my teammates, put our franchise in position to be successful. And ultimately compete for a championship, though. So, for me, I know what I bring to the table. This league knows what I bring to the table. So, it's for you guys to write about. It's not for me to be concerned about it.
Joe.
Joe Varden, Cleveland.com. Before the playoffs, you said you thought that you had enough to win a championship this year. What are you seeing from your team now? 10 straight, and obviously tonight's game was what it was. Where do you see this team right now?
We just want to try to get better. I also told you we had another level, and you looked at me crazy. And I told you that. I believe we got another level as well. As well as we played tonight, there was still some things we could have did better. We had a few bad turnovers offensively that we could do better. We had a couple miscues defensively where we gave us some open looks. So we can just continue to we can get better, and that's a positive for our ball club. And it's no complacency with us right now. I mean, it shouldn't be. It's the postseason, but we like where we're headed, in the direction we're headed right now.
Dave.
David Brenneman, ESPN. LeBron, even before the series started, Brad Stevens said that he felt like the Cavs had a perfect roster. That was before you're up 28 in Game 1, before you're up 50 in Game 2. What do you feel about the roster composition and the pieces that you have and what you are potentially able to accomplish with them?
Well, I mean, that's a huge compliment, but there's no such thing for us. We don't have a perfect roster. We don't have a perfect team, but we can make up for mistakes, and we can make up for maybe some deficiencies that we may have because we communicate, we fly around, and we sacrifice one another. So, you know, that could put us as close to perfection as possible, which you can't ever get to. But, you know, our communication level, our sacrifice, what we give to each other every night, you know, kind of covers that, kind of covers some of the faults that we may have. And with the faults that we do have, we try to get better and better at it, you know, so we could be as great as we can be every single night.
Middle right. You.
Oh, sorry. Jake Fisher with Sports Illustrated. LeBron, he said this team had another level, but now you've won 13 straight games in the postseason. Is this the highest level that you've played offensively in your career?
I don't know. I'm a guy who lives in the moment, and our team is in a great groove, and I'm happy to be a part of that groove. So, you know, at the end of the day, we want to try to put ourselves in position to win every game. That's the goal. And can you do that? You know, sometimes you come out with an L, but it's how you learn from those experiences that's going to help you off the next time. So we are in a good groove as a team, and we want to try to continue that going home.
Left side.
LeBron, Tom Lydon, Boston 25 News to your left here. Isaiah sat out the second half. Brad told us before you came out here that he's been dealing with an injury since last week. Can you sense something physically different with him through these first two games?
I don't pay attention to those things, to be honest. I only pay attention to what's going on with our guys and how we can put, you know, a lot of pressure on the opposing team, you know, from IT to the rest of those guys. So, you know, obviously we didn't see him in the second half. Marcus Smart started the second half, but, you know, that was not our concern going into the second half. Our concern was not get complacent. Don't do what we did, you know, in game one in the third quarter here where we gave up, I think, 36 or something points, you know, in that quarter and allowed them to get into a good groove. So it's not my concern.
Jared Weiss, CLNS Media Network. Do you feel like with your physical perimeter defense, you guys have kind of pushed them out of their comfortable game plan and kind of put their backs against the wall at this point?
Well, they're going to make another adjustment, and we have to be ready for that going into game three. We're going to watch film tomorrow and see ways we can be better. We do have some great perimeter defenders that takes the challenge, but we also have great third-line defense as well, you know, with our front line who communicates, you know, pick and roll coverages or pin down coverages or whatever coverages that's going on that allow the guards to get up into the ball or, you know, do what they need to do to be successful versus their guards.
Bob Schramm, the Citizen. LeBron, Brad was saying one of the takeaways he took from the game was in the beginning of the fourth quarter, Kyle, a bunch of the veterans were out there, RJ, playing so professionally. Are you guys at a point where you're challenging each other, you know, excellent veterans, making each other better?
Well, absolutely. We had a veteran ball club. We want, one of the oldest teams in the league, so we all push each other. We're here for one reason. When you sign up to be here, we're here to compete. We're here to sacrifice for one another. And if you're in garbage time or if you're in the crunch time, you need to be a professional. And, you know, RJ's done that. Champ has done that. Channing is doing that. You see guys playing one round that has a huge, a huge piece for one round, but then the next round, you know, certain things change. And guys just continue to stay ready. Guys continue to stay professional, and it's great to be in the locker room like that.
Anything else? All right, thank you.